Good afternoon, all. I hope that all of you are fine. So today I am in front of you to present a topic related to Java, and I hope that all of you are having the general things about general things about the Java. So let me brief about it. So all of you know that Java is a purely object-oriented programming language. And also it's one of the feature is when it is compiled, a bytecode is generated, and once the program is written, independent of the platform. So Java is a platform independent program. So independent of the platform, OS platform, if the Java virtual machine is ported to it, it will be there is no need for recompiling, and it will be get executed. So you can tell as a Java is once write and run any time. Like that you can tell the Java programs. So if you are knowing the general things about the Java, so today's section you can follow. So I am discussing here today the command about the command line arguments concept in Java. Okay, so let me share the PPT regarding that. Okay. So in our section, the main objectives are today, what is the concept of command line arguments and how we will pass the command line arguments to Java, and how the Java program will accept that command line arguments, and also some of the example programs. With the help of some example programs, we will illustrate the use of command line arguments. So what is the concept of command line arguments in general? So mainly, it is a method which used to give the inputs through the console or command line. Through the command line, we can input data to the program. And also, in other way, we can tell that we are passing the arguments to the Java program through when we are executing it. When we are running or executing the program, we are passing the arguments, some arguments from console to the Java program. Then, and also you are passing the command line arguments in the console, and after that it is accepting through the program, the main program. And also other way, we are controlling the program from outside. So these are the things we are doing with the help of command line arguments. So mainly we are passing the arguments through console. So in Java, how we are implementing this command line argument concept. So all of you know that how we are compiling the Java program. How we are compiling the Java program? First, for compilation, we are using the command javac. After that, file name .java. So in Java, there is one rule also. Whatever the class name or the file name, that same, the class name and file name must be same. Then only the Java virtual machine can identify the corresponding class file. So the file name and the class name must have the same name. So javac file name .java. And how you will execute it? It is Java class name. Class means, so already I told that when it is compiling, we will get a bytecode or a .class file. So you have to mention that Java, that class file name as usual. So it is a normal method. And suppose if you are using the command line arguments along with the running statement or executing statement, you have to pass the arguments here. Okay, that is the difference. Java class name and the arguments. And also, so that in that way we are passing the arguments. And there is no restrictions for the number of arguments. Any number of command line arguments you can pass through command line. Don't in the case of Java, in any case you can, because this is a concept used in all the programming languages, you can pass the arguments in the command line. So any number of arguments can be passed through the command line. And next, how this is accepting there. So it is accepting as a string. When you are passing the command line arguments through console, that arguments is treated as string variables. And suppose even though if you are passing a number also, that number is treated as string. So information is passed as a strings. And how it is capturing, how the Java program is accepting it. All of you know that the program entry point will be the main method. So public static void main string, it's array, then args. So while executing the programs as usual, we are not giving any importance to this string array args. But in the case of command line arguments, it is having importance. Why? Why? Because these arguments is getting accepted in args. Okay, so it is clear to you. Then, in the case of command line arguments, two things we have to discuss. That is argument count and argument vector. So what is this argument counter? So it's from the name itself, it is there. So how many command line arguments you are passing to the program? That is called the argument counter. And in the Java program, how you can access this argument counter? So it is using args.length. So just earlier I told that here string array args. So in the case of Java, this string is a non-primitive data type existing as a built-in class. And a built-in class means it will be having some built-in properties and built-in methods also. Then, so like that, one built-in function of, so now it is args means now your command line arguments is accepted in args. And args.length means how many arguments you are passed, that will be stored in the string array named args, and args.length means that string's length, how many command line arguments you passed. Okay, so argument count means it is the count of or number of arguments passed from the through the command line. And next, argument vector means that what are the command line arguments you passed, that is argument vector. So no, most probably it will be stored as an array of one-dimensional array of strings. That means collection of strings. One string means it will be the collection of characters, and a number of strings constitutes argument count. Argument vector. So that is now already I discussed it will be stored in args. Okay. So we have to remember about args.length and string array args. So these two, using these two variables and property, we are going to implement the programs in Java using command line arguments. So already you know compiling, how you are compiling the program, Java C file name.java, then Java class name, and if you are passing the arguments, you have to pass the arguments after this name, class name. Okay, and how you can separate the arguments by putting space. Arguments are separated by space. Just I have given one example also for you. This constitutes the command line. After that, you already compiled the program, and my program name is or class name is empty1. Then how you can pass the command line arguments? Java, then file names empty1, and these are my arguments 10, 11, 12 are the command line arguments. So now itself you can tell that how many command line arguments are there? 3 command line arguments are there. What are the command line arguments? 10, 11, 12. Okay. Next, just in a diagrammatical way, I have shown you that this is you are passing the arguments from command line Java CMD1, same example itself, 10, 11, 12. Then it is accepted in the main function because it is the entry point of the program, Java program. and it is accepted in args. Okay, so then here the arg s of 0, 10 will be assigned in, so argument count will be 3 and 10 will be assigned in arg s of 0 and 11 will be assigned in arg s of 1 and 12 will be assigned as arg s of 2. So as so on, how many arguments you are passing according to that, it will be there. So you can give it as etc. up to n, like that it will goes. Okay. Then same example with a representation, table representation I have given. Like this, if you are executing argument count, that is args dot length value will be 3 arguments, 1, 2, 3 arguments, and args of 0 means it will be first argument, that is a 10, and args of 1 because it's array. Array in the case of Java, array is starting from the index or subscript to 0. So 3 arguments, the index will go from 0 to 2. Then arg s of 1 means second argument 11 and arg s of 2 means 12. Okay. So already I told that we can access the value of the argument count using the args dot length, and argument vectors or the string arrays can be accessed as args of 0, args of 1, args of 2 and so on. So let us discuss this concept with the help of some examples. So today just I am going to discuss about some of the programs, like a program to display the list of command line arguments passed to the program, and also adding 2 numbers and sorting the strings using command line arguments, and store the numbers also using the command line arguments. So one by one we will go through the programs. So first of all, I will share a program that is used to print all the list of what are the argument count and what are the arguments passed through as command line arguments. So let us discuss that with the help of an example. So I will share that program to you. So this is our program, and remember the file name must be, already I coded it, the file name must be same as that of the class name. So this program is to display all the command line arguments I am planning to pass as command line arguments. So just I will explain the program. Class, then CMD line arguments. So it is a class name. Remember the file name. You can see the file name here. Okay, my file name .java, that is a CMD line arguments .java is my file name. So it must be same as that of the class name. Then our program entry point is as usual public static void main string array args. Okay, so if you are passing the command line arguments, that command line arguments will be accepted in args. So you have to think like that. Now the command line arguments, suppose we are passing command line arguments, that arguments will be assigned in args. And here one just like an error checking it is there. That means if you are not passing any command line arguments, no command line arguments is there, one message will come like that. There were no command line arguments passed. Then else, other else. That means if you pass the command line argument. So how here how the length is checked? Already I told you args. Args is containing the strings. Then string, how many string? That string, it is a built-in. Length is a built-in property of the string class. So args. So args now acts as an instance of the string class. So args dot length is equal to it is comparing whether it is 0. That means no arguments passed as command line. Then the message where there were no command line arguments passed, message will come. Then else. Else means you passed the command line arguments. Then what the output will be? One message I am giving here, system.out.println. All of you are aware about that statement also, to printing the output. ln is for, after printing it will go to the next line. Then argument count equals concatenating here. So what value I have to get? Args dot. So you know argument count will be in args dot length. So I am trying to show you. So what will be the answer value there? So it will be the length, args dot length. Suppose if you are passing 2 arguments, you have to get their 2 as the length. If you are passing 3 command line arguments, you have to get their output as 3. Then next, system dot out dot println, the argument vectors are, that's only a message only. Then all of you know that it will be the group of strings. So group of string means must be how to use array there. So array means it will be a initialization value will be there, and a control statement also must be there for controlling the statement, the loop. Okay, so here what will be the initial value? I already told the value will be in the subscript or indices 0. So it starts from the value 0. So a temporary variable I am using here, local variable int I is equal to 0. Then I less than args dot length means if it is 5 means less than args dot length means 4 only. Why? Because 5 total 5 means the subscript is ranging from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then next, so how many arguments are there? One by one I am printing the arguments. So how to get the output as args of 0 equals, what is the first value? Args of 1 is equal to the second value. Args of 2 is equal to third value. Like that I am trying to print here. Okay, so next we will try to execute this program. So the curly braces are closed. So I hope that this program is clear to you. So we will save it once again, and I am going to share the command line. Okay, so what is our program name? Java C CMD line arguments dot Java. Okay, I am compiling. Compilation is successful because my program now it is existing in C:\Java directory, and already the path is tested. The Java C compiler path is set to this C:\Java, and it will execute. So now the compilation comes successful. So I am trying to execute it as usual. First we can try as usual what if I am executing what happens. So CMD command line arguments. Okay. So what message it come? There were no command line arguments passed because I didn't pass any command line arguments. So it will goes to the args dot length equal to 0, and there the result will be there were no command line arguments passed. So then we will try for the arguments. Okay, 3 arguments I am giving. So what will be the output? I just written there to print the argument counter. So argument count is equal to 3. Then the argument vectors or message will come, and one by one the argument values are displaying. That is args of 0 is equal to first argument, it is called AAA, and args of 1 it will be BBB, and args of 2 will be CCC. So this is the illustration of displaying the values of how you pass the command line arguments and how the program will accept the command line arguments, and how you can print that command line arguments accepted to the program to display it through the program statements. So from this program, I just hope that all of you understood the concept of command line arguments. Then next, we will go for some other programs. I will share the next program to you. Next, we will try to add 2 numbers which are passed as the command line argument. So I will share that program to you. So this is our program, a program to add 2 numbers using command line arguments. You can see the same programs. And here the file name is sum.java. So my class name is also sum. Public static void main string arrays arguments passed in args. And the same message I have displayed here also. Suppose I missed to enter the command line arguments, the message will come where there were no command line arguments passed. And else what to be done? So here I am not introducing any other temporary or local variables. So directly I am going to add that values and args of 0 plus args of 1. So as per our explanation, what it will be, args of 0 means the first value, args of 1 means the second value. Let us see what the output will be. So again, I am saving the file. We are again going for the command line. So what is the program name? Sum.java. So the compilation is success. So we will go for executing that program. Java sum. Same way. Suppose I am not entering any command line arguments. What the result will be? There were no command line arguments passed. So my aim, what it is, I have to add two numbers. So Java sum. I am passing two values. Okay, 12 and 13. So what happened? So now you got the result, sum of two numbers, 12, 13. So whether our output we received, okay, we have to get, actually it is a 25. Okay, so now we got the message only 12, 13. Can you tell why we got the message 12, 13? You can message to me, you can chat with me the answers. Why you got here this answer as 12, 13? Well, what will be the reason? Okay, because already I told you that the command line arguments are passing or accepting as strings only. So if you are passing here 12 and 13, also it is accepting as string. As a string, you are adding means what is happening there? It is concatenating the string. So you will get a 12 concatenated with the what? 13. So you will get the result as 12, 13 only. So what you have to do here for solving, if you want to get the answer as 25, what you have to make change there? You have to convert the string to the integer type. Suppose if you want to add a decimal point numbers means you have to convert to double. Okay, let us see the change. So again, we will go to the program. So for executing, for easy explaining, I have coded the same correct program in the other file. Let you see here, instead of directly giving the conversion, here I introduced the local variables also. I have introduced the three variables, num1, num2 and sum. Num1 and num2 is to store the two numbers we are passed as the command line arguments. And I am planning to set the first command line argument to the num1 and the second command line argument to num2. And then the sum, I am adding that two numbers and storing the sum, the variable sum. So in the num1, so here I am considering only int. Suppose if you want to add two decimal numbers, you have to consider here double. Okay, so that you can do yourself the num1, num2 sum. And the same message I am giving here, if the length is equal to 0, no command line arguments given, the message have to come like that, other else. So what change I have done here? Num1 is equal to integer dot parseInt of args of 0. So here the args of 0 is actually a string. That is why it is get concatenated. So that args of 0, now I am converted to integer and stored in num1. So this function converts, comment given, converts string args of 0, that string to integer. And the same way, the second argument, args of 1 is converted to integer using num integer dot parsing the function and stored to num2. Then I have added that two numbers, sum is equal to num1 plus num2, and finally I am printing the sum. So let us go for the discussion. So make clear that what change I have done here, because earlier I got the output as concatenated. Why? Because the command line arguments, any argument you are passing, it is treating as string only. For string, adding means concatenating, joining, that's only. And here I converted that command line argument as a string to integer, and then I am going for adding. So let us see now what the result we will get. I will share the command line. Okay. So I changed the file name. So Java, add the other program file I have coded it. So it is add Java C add.java. It is success, compilation is success. So next I am going for Java. Add, suppose I forgot to enter the arguments, there were no command line arguments passed. Again, I am trying for the same, add Java add 12, 30. So here comes the output, sum of two numbers equals 25. So the command line argument is converted to integer and it gets added. Like this, any calculations can be done. If you want to go for the manipulations, arithmetic calculations and all, you have to convert that numbers to integer and do the process. That is only the difference. Okay. Then again, next we will go for the program to sort the values or command line. How many command line arguments you are passing? That command line arguments we have to get sorted. Okay. I will share the program code. Okay. So actually the array and the functions, these classes are having built-in functions for sorting and all. So here I am not going for that built-in methods and all. Just a normal sorting concept only I have taken here. So a program to sort the strings accepted as a command line arguments. So same case I have used here. So here the file name is sorter and the class name is also sorter. Then just string temper. So you know, if you want to sort means so a temporary variable is required because exchanging two numbers or strings. So exchanging two numbers means we cannot exchange two values without a temporary variable. So for exchanging two values of two variables, a temporary variable is required. So you will can convert or store the first value to a temporary variable, then the first value is vacant. At that time, you will store the second value to that. Then finally, you will store that temporary value to the second number. Like that, using a temporary variable only, you can interchange two values. Same concept only I have used here also. So here it strings because the characters is command line arguments are strings. So as a string only it is there. So temporary variable also I declared as a what a string. Then for int I is equal to 0. So here the comparison is checking is first string and the second string. So here I is equal to 0 and j is equal to I plus 1. Then see, here comes 0, 1. And the next it is comparing, and according to the ASCII value, it will compare it and arrange the values in the A to Z order I am using here, ascending order I am using here. Next time it will check when the a j value is becoming first one means next I value 0 itself, it is checking first one. Then next the j value become 2, then it will go for the 0 and second, third value comparison. Like that it is going. First string is comparing with the other strings and finally it is getting positioned. In that concept, sorting concept is used here. So here how you are comparing two strings, args of I dot compared to method is used here. So it will compare the strings whatever in first string and the second string. So here first time args of 0 and args of 1. Next time it will check I value is the same, because for the one value of I, nested for loop means the one value of I, they will go for the how many times here args dot length time less than args dot length time. So args of I dot compare to args of j greater than 0. So if it is comparing means there it is checking the ASCII values. It will subtract the ASCII value of the first character and the first strings first character ASCII value, and second strings first character ASCII value. They are comparing, subtracting, and that value is taking as a greater than 0. That is the result of a comparative function. Depending on the difference of the that ASCII values, it is taking that numbers. So that is why here greater than 0. Otherwise, strings means how we can tell greater than 0. So in the case of compare function, it is subtracting, taking the difference of, you have to make understand, it is taking the difference of the ASCII values of the first characters of the first string and the second string. And if that character, that number or ASCII value difference is greater than 0 means, its meaning is we have to interchange the value. Because the capital A ASCII value, it is 49. Then capital B will be 50, 51, like that it will go. Okay, so it's a general concept. So if the B, suppose A and B, then comparing A means 49, then the B means 50. So 49 minus 50 means you are getting negative value. That means no need to interchange. So A, first A, then B. Then suppose reverse it is there. B is first and A is there. So what happens? 50 minus 49. 50 minus 49 means the answer is 1. 1 is greater than 0. Then its meaning is you have to interchange the variable. Okay. So anyway, it's a concept of sorting. Yeah? So just I gone through that concept only. Then here what it is doing, it is interchanging the first and the second. If you want to interchange, it is interchanging the first and the second strings using the temp. Temp is also here string. So first temp, in the temp you will bring the first string. Now this first string is vacant. Then in that place you will bring the second string. Then now the second string is vacant, and in that place you will bring the value of the first string which is stored in a temp. So like that you have interchanged the values, and it has to be continued for all the cases. And finally, you will get, after this process, all your strings will be in the ascending order. That is from A to Z order. And finally, you are going to display that strings in a sorted order. So let us see what will be the output here. In I is equal to 0, I less than args dot length. Less than args dot length means you will be now, that is 5 means it is from 0 to 4 only. That is less than args dot length I plus plus, then system dot out dot println args of I. So now you are getting the sorted list, because in this process we have sorted all the strings. Let us see what the output it is. So next I will share the command line once again. So our program name is sort Java. Compilation is success. Java sort. I am not passing the command line arguments. There were no command line arguments. Then next I will go for passing the command line arguments. Java. So we are going to sort the arguments. So I have to give the characters in the without the order. So then only we can see that whether it is sorted or not. So let me give a XXX, SSS. Okay. So what will be the output? Names in sorted order AAA. So next BBB, next SSS, XXS. So you got the number in the, so not the numbers here, the strings in the sorted order. So let us see the same program whether it works for the numbers also. So I am going to give the numbers here. Okay. First I am giving 4, 6, 2, 1, 5. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So now you can see this is okay for that numbers. So let me go for some other example. I am giving some more numbers. Just like see how the output it is. It is 1, 11, 13, 2, 24, 4, 5, 6. Is it correct? Whether it's sorted as numbers? No, it's sorted as strings only. Here all the numbers are one digit number. That's why you got the correct answer. Here the numbers are it is one digit, and 11 means it is 2 digits. So can you tell what the problem occurred here? Why you got the output like this? What's the reason? So the reason is already I told you that in the case of strings, it is comparing as the ASCII value. So what it is happening means the ASCII value is not for string. The ASCII value is for characters. So if this is considering as a string, first it will take a 1. One ASCII value means it will take is ASCII value and the first number, because the ASCII value of the 1 will be less there. So it will got 1. The next number, as it is not taking the ASCII value of 11, it is taking the ASCII value of 1 only, because ASCII value is defined while comparing. ASCII value is defined for strings. It's for characters, not for group of characters. So it will take the ASCII value of 1 only. So it will be positioned near after what 11. So considering as a part of 1 itself, it is getting that 11 also nearby. So here the problem is it is not considering as a numbers. It is considering as strings only. That is why it happened there, because of the considering the ASCII values of characters. So 11 also treated as the ASCII value. First digit only it is taking. First character ASCII value is only taking. That is why you got the wrong answer here. So what solution we have to do for this? We have to, while sorting, we have to consider the numbers as integers itself. Then only it will be get done. So let me check what will be the difference there. So with the other example. So I will share the other program to you where it is cleared. Sort numbers. So I have solved this one in the other file, that is sort numbers. Program to sort the numbers. This is for numbers. So this consider that for the numbers. So what change I have made? Only here I no need to consider these all the characters or all the command line arguments to be converted to numbers and processing. It's not required. When you are comparing, just treat as numbers. And for interchanging and all, if it is string also, no problem. You will get the correct answer. So here just I changed here. While comparing, I checked whether that comparing is done as an integer. So what I have done here, so integer dot parse int of args of I is greater than integer dot 1 second. Okay, integer dot parse int of args of I is greater than integer dot parse int of args of k. So the first number here we have to tell us the number, whether the first number is greater than the second number. Like that it is comparing and the sorting processing. So let us see what is the difference you are getting in this one. Here the file name is sort numbers and class name is sort numbers. So we will execute it. So I am going to share the command line once again. So I changed the program. So it is a sort numbers. Sort numbers. The file name is sort numbers. Sort Java. So compilation is success. And Java sort numbers. So I am not giving arguments. There were no command line arguments, and I am going to pass. So we have to see that whether for the 2-digit and 1-digit numbers, whether it is taking the correct case or not. 5, 1, 22, 2, 5. So let us see. Now it is considered for I given 5 2 times now. Okay, let's see. No issue. 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 12, 20, 23, 45, 67. So now it is taken that as the same numbers as a number. It have get sorted. So only just have to while comparing that two numbers, take it as integers and go for the operation. So these are the some of the examples. Just I have a plan, illustrating for you for the understanding of the command line arguments. So now you just got. I hope that you got an idea related to this command line arguments. And the main thing you have to remember that the command line arguments is accepted as strings. So when you are going for the calculations or integer manipulations, so you have to treat or convert these two integers and to go for the operations. That's only the main thing. On some of the examples, it's clear now. It's clear to you also. Okay. So once again, I will share my PPT to you. So in today's class, we have discussed about the command line arguments, and it is a concept. We are passing the arguments through command line. So as usual, when we are executing the program, we will execute the programs just like we will execute the program using the statement Java C, compile it using Java C file name.java, and execute it using Java class name usually. Then if the arguments is there, means you have to pass the arguments here. So already you have seen, I have shown you that how to pass arguments. So that will be the arguments, and arguments are separated by spaces, and any number of arguments you can pass, any number of arguments you can pass as arguments. So you are controlling the program from the outside or from console. Okay. Then also how it is accepting the values also I told that. So it is passing through here and accepting in the main program. So main is the entry point of a program in Java, and it is accepted as a string. String is a built-in non-primitive data type as class. String as a class, built-in class, and it is having built-in methods and properties also. So it is accepted in Argus. So now comes the importance of Argus, and using the Argus you can manipulate the command line arguments. Only remember that it is existing as strings. Then. So, these are the things we have discussed today. Any doubts you can message to me. Okay, a lot of you shared that as solutions for that. Okay, I asked you what happened to adding two numbers. Okay, you have given the answers also. Shvetang, percent of num plus percent of num2. Okay, you have to tell integer dot percent of. Okay, correct. And when we are comparing the case of C also, this in all the programming languages, we can use this concept. In the case of C, slight difference will be there. the executing command there, you will generating not the byte class there. When you are executing the program, the exe file is generated, and that exe file name, that will be the first argument. There we are telling us argument count and argument vector, argc and argb, like that. So there the argb, first argb of 0 means it is representing the command itself. Then only it will comes the other arguments. But in Java, the starting itself, it's taking from the arguments. No giving, not assigning the bytecode or class name as the argument. And to assign some configuration values while starting the application, some configuration values or anything, if you want to pass to the program and all, that you can do using these command line arguments also. So I hope anyone not asking any doubts. Everyone is clear. Ruchika, Manav, everyone is messaging, no doubts. PPT, okay. PPT, I will share to you. Command line arguments use, I have already mentioned to you now itself. Okay, so everything is clear. Thank you everyone.